We're following breaking news out of Dayton as we come on the air tonight.
The Dayton Police Department says one person was shot and taken to Miami Valley Hospital. All of this happening just within the last few hours. Clara Faith is live after speaking with officers there at the scene. And Clara, what did they have to say?
According to Dayton police, they received a call that someone was shot off of 3rd and Jefferson Street. We're told that the shooting might have happened off of Ludlow Street. Dispatchers say they have detained someone and the victim has been sent to Miami Valley Hospital. One witness didn't want to go on camera, but they described to us the moment they saw the victim.
I've been out here for 5 years, and this is my first time seeing something like this happen.
As we continue to learn more about this incident, we'll keep you updated on air or online. Reporting in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Clara, thank you. Election day just 4 days away. The Montgomery County Board of Elections says it's seeing hundreds of people voting early every day. Mamie Ba is live from Montgomery County now. Mamie, what's the turnout like there?
Well, we have a lot of people coming in through these doors. We are in the Montgomery County Administration Building. So you come in through these doors and you just follow the blue line. It's very simple. It'll take you to the escalator. You will go 2 floors down. And if you cannot take the escalator, you take elevator number 1 to the lower level. So again, a lot of foot traffic. By end of day, the number of in-house voters here will surpass what we saw in 2018.
Maybe the election is just days away. What are some of the deadlines?
Well, so if you're going to request an absentee ballot, those requests need to be in by tomorrow. And if you're going to be mailing it in, it needs to be postmarked by November 7th. Now, we'll be hearing more from County of Election officials coming up at 6:30.
All right, Mamie, thanks so much. Now, candidates are right now in their final push to sway some of those undecided voters. Today, Republican candidates traveling all around the state. And Republicans want to keep control of the Buckeye State. There are 11 candidates right now on a bus all across Ohio, including Governor Mike DeWine, candidate for U.S. Senate J.D. Vance, and Congressman Mike Turner. The bus was just here in Dayton at the Mandalay Center this afternoon. They're now headed to Toledo, Lima, and Cincinnati. The bus will stay on the road through Monday when J.D. Vance ends his tour with a rally Monday night alongside former President Trump in Vandalia. Now, as for the Democratic candidates, they're trying to flip the state blue, so they're also going to be in town these next few days. Candidate for U.S. Senate, Congressman Tim Ryan, making stops in Dayton and Xenia today. And former Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley, Ohio's gubernatorial candidate for the Democratic Party, will be in Dayton and Springfield tomorrow.
While we are all getting hit hard by campaign ads, the Ohio Bar Association says some of those ads are violating rules of professional conduct, namely the ads for and against Ohio Supreme Court candidates. Now, David Winter's been looking into those ads and who's paying for them.
Conservative and liberal political action committees from out of state are pouring millions of dollars into Ohio races. These PACs know state Supreme Court races are deciding whether abortion is legal or how district lines are drawn, which can determine the makeup of Congress. These attack ads go against the canons of the Ohio Supreme Court and rules set out by the Ohio Bar Association. The OBA has now admonished these dark money groups on both sides of the political spectrum. Dark money because these groups can easily hide from where they are getting their donations.
Judges aren't supposed to decide cases based on political preferences or the preferences of their supporters. They're supposed to decide them based on the law. And we don't, as a result of the way money comes into these races, often from dark money groups, we don't have a chance to know fully when those conflicts exist.
The Ohio Bar Association on Monday sent a letter to one of these PACs, the Republican State Leadership Committee, asking it to take down an ad attacking Judge Marilyn Zayas, who is running for an Ohio Supreme Court seat against Judge Pat DeWine. Now the Bar Association has sent out an admonishment to a group favoring Zayas and attacking DeWine. Zayas told us she has no control over the ad, but thinks the PAC should pull it or change it. This is David Winter reporting. Back to you.
And we have everything election related all in one place right now. Just take out your phone and scan the QR code that's up on your screen. That's going to take you right to the Beyond the Podium section on our Dayton 24/7 Now website. There you're going to find interviews with all the candidates, information about local issues, and also resources to help you prepare to vote. And for all the latest updates from the campaign trail, be sure to keep up with us at Dayton 247 Now on all social media platforms.
Well, we did it. We made it. We are on the weekend, or at least the precipice of the weekend for some of us. So It's looking like it's going to be nice, but maybe a little bit of rain sprinkled in.
Yeah, and a little bit of wind along with that, too.
You can feel it today.
Yeah, the wind's already picking up. Even stronger winds are in the forecast for the day tomorrow. We do have a wind advisory in place for the entire Miami Valley. This goes into effect at 8 a.m. tomorrow until 9 p.m. We're talking about some wind gusts potentially up to 50 miles per hour. So secure any outdoor loose items that you may have. If you already have some holiday decorations, old Halloween decorations, or maybe you're already decorating for the next season, you certainly want to make sure those are secure too. With 70s out there currently, it's really warm. We were just 2 degrees away from a record today, 72 in Dayton, 72 in Troy. A little warmer than this time yesterday, 3 degrees warmer in Dayton compared to this time yesterday, 4 degrees warmer in Greenville. Now clouds continue to build in overnight. The winds continue to increase as well. Southerly wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. As I mentioned, a very windy one for tomorrow. So coming up, I am going to be timing out some showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, and I'll let you know how long the strong winds are going to last in just a bit.
Natalie, thanks. Montgomery County Auditor Carl Keith addressing the early results of his office's pricing inspection sweep of local Dollar General stores. Keith says of the 18 stores they've checked so far, 15 stores in Montgomery County have failed their recent price verification inspection. That's a failure rate of more than 83%. And it's in addition to 20 stores in Butler County and 8 in Franklin County. This comes after Attorney General Dave Yost filed a lawsuit against the retail chain for deceptive pricing. Dollar General is accused of advertising one price on the shelf and then charging a higher price at the register.
We would randomly select 50 items from the shelves and scan those and compare them to the shelf price. If more than, in case of 50, if more than one of them fail, well, then they fail. 2% is the standard that we go by. These stores have been failing by double-digit amounts. As we go on, we think it's going to be a more widespread problem than just Dollar General.
So if this happens to you as a customer, Keith says you can mention it to the store management. Then you can call the Montgomery County Auditor's Office, that number 937-225-6309. The final U.S. jobs report before the midterm elections was just released today, and it shows a rise in jobs last month. The Bureau of Labor Statistics shows 261,000 positions were added in October. That's more than was expected. Despite the rise, some economists still fear a recession is looming. The Fed says the U.S. might need to actually lose jobs if inflation remains out of control. But as of right now, the Fed's repeated interest rate hikes haven't stopped employers from hiring. The leader of the Oath Keepers taking to the stand in his own defense. He's charged with seditious conspiracy. Adam's at the Now Desk. So what did jurors hear today?
So Stuart Rhodes testified for almost 2 hours. He talked about his own background and the 2020 election. He told the jury he didn't believe Trump or Joe Biden won the election in 2020 because the election itself was unconstitutional. Now, Rhodes also told the jury he was honorably discharged from the military, studied law at Yale, focusing on the Bill of Rights. Rhodes and 4 other members of that group have pleaded not guilty to seditious conspiracy. His testimony is expected to wrap up on Monday. Prosecutors will then cross-examine.
Well, the Powerball jackpot is now the world's largest lottery prize ever. It's grown to an astounding estimated $1.6 billion. That beats the last world record of $1.58 billion, also set by the Powerball in 2016. So if you win, you can choose to get the entire sum in gradual payments over 29 years or the lump sum payment of more than $782 million. The jackpot has been growing now for 3 months. The next drawing is tomorrow night.
Lighter mornings and darker evenings are on the way because daylight saving time comes to an end on Sunday. So at 2 a.m., the clocks will turn back 1 hour so you get a little extra sleep that day. This all comes as lawmakers debate whether the longstanding tradition should be eliminated. The Senate approved the bipartisan Sunshine Protection Act in March, which would make daylight saving time permanent, but the bill is stalled in the House.
Well, the last football Friday of the season is about to kick off. We're going to check in with Matt Digby for a list of what games to keep an eye on tonight.
And a local university has a new residence hall. Why it's so special. Plus, we'll hear from the university's first ever Goldwater Scholar.
Plus, I'm tracking our next weather maker, which will bring strong winds into the Miami Valley. That's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A Rhode Island viewer's home security camera captured this meteor last night. If it hit the ground, it would be called a meteorite. Next, we head to Piedmont, Alabama, where this dust devil was spotted. Dust devils are typically strong, short-lived, and usually pretty harmless. And winter has arrived in Montana. Ski season there is just a few weeks away.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Instagram.
All right, welcome in. It is Football Friday. We got round 2 of the high school playoffs. Matt Digby here now. So what games are we paying attention to tonight?
Well, we've got quite a few games. 32 area teams still in the running in their respective divisions for a state title. And we're going to have some rematches as well, especially I'll be up at Clark County. Springfield taking on Fairmont. This is a rematch from the Wildcats' lone loss of the regular season. Fairmont was able to go on the road a couple weeks ago and win at Springfield. Can they do so again? Especially Fairmont, the emotions of winning their first ever home playoff game last week against Wayne, doing so in come from behind fashion.
We'll see if that carries over, and we have a couple of other GWAC playoff games as well.
We
right?
do. Centerville is home tonight, taking on Marysville. Springboro back home against Mason, and that's going to be another thing to keep in mind, the emotions of playing your final game on home turf. This is a home field advantage situation for round 2, but next week when the regional semifinals begin play, those will all be at neutral sites, plus also half the teams playing on Friday next week, half of them playing on Saturday. So going to get used to a bit of a different schedule, but this will be the last time that everyone plays on a Friday.
All right, it should be another fun Football Friday. That is coming up tonight at 10 on Fox 45 and 11 on ABC. We'll send it back to Natalie.
Well, we got a windy evening across the Miami Valley. Winds are starting to pick up ahead of our next weather maker, but it's going to be even stronger for tomorrow. We're going to talk about some pretty strong wind gusts. Taking a look at our next weather maker, check out areas in Oklahoma, Texas, several tornado warnings in place there. Active weather situation they're dealing with this evening. This is a part of our next weather maker. Now, we aren't going to be dealing with the tornado threat with these storms, but we do have some strong winds and the rain in the forecast for the day tomorrow. So timing it all out for you. Rest of the evening, staying quiet, cloudy start for the day tomorrow, pretty mild start. We get into the 70s by the afternoon, and it looks like after lunchtime we will start to see some showers make their way in. Our main line with this front does look like it's going to be late into the evening, likely between about 5 to 8 p.m. We'll see that line of showers and maybe even a few rumbles of thunder pushing their way through, followed by clearing by the rest of the evening and into the day on Sunday. We'll be on the quieter side. Now, another thing we're going to be dealing with, I mentioned that, are the winds. So heading through the day tomorrow, so this is early into the morning, we're talking about some wind gusts, maybe about to 25 30 miles per hour, so you'll start to hear the winds pick up in the morning. By the afternoon hours, there you see them back up 45, maybe up to 50 mile per hour wind gusts by later into the day as we do get that front to push its way into the area. So secure any loose outdoor objects that you may have, because it is going to be on the breezy side for the day tomorrow. And also could see a few power outages, but notice as we head into our Saturday evening, those winds do start to calm down just a bit as well. So coming up, I am talking about a very low end risk for severe storms with the storms that move through tomorrow as well.
Natalie, thanks. The 8 Akron police officers under investigation for the deadly shooting of a 25-year-old black man are now back in uniform and back on the job. The officers have not been identified publicly, so we don't know their names, but we do know that they were involved when Jalen Walker was shot and killed while trying to run from a traffic stop back in June. An autopsy showed Walker had nearly 50 gunshot wounds and graze injuries. Akron's chief says that he knows this decision is going to concern some residents, but adds that staffing issues have led to the officers' return. Ohio BCI is now looking into the matter. InfoWars host Alex Jones may have to pay more money back to the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims. Adam is at the Now Desk. What's happening?
So the punitive damages phase of his trial started today. You may remember last month the jury ordered Jones and his company, Free Speech Systems, to pay nearly $1 billion in compensation to the families for the harm they suffered. Now, Jones claimed the 2012 Connecticut shooting that killed 26 people was a hoax with crisis actors. The judge will determine how much punitive damages should be awarded after hearings today and on Monday.
The city of Uvalde, Texas, has a new interim school superintendent tonight, and he says his goal is to start rebuilding trust and transparency in the community.
They'll never hear me say, I understand how you feel, or I know what you're going through, because I don't. I can't. But I can listen. We can provide communication, transparency. We can provide that, and maybe some common ground can start coming together.
The previous superintendent retired last month after backlash following the Robb Elementary School mass shooting. 19 students and 2 teachers were killed back in May. The school is set to be demolished. The interim superintendent says that he is working with a committee to build a new elementary school. He also says he'll personally oversee each district officer being hired using guidance from the Texas Police Chiefs Association.
Live look at the Capitol building, where the House Rules Committee will hold a hearing this month about seating a Cherokee Nation delegate. Tribal leaders want lawmakers to honor a treaty the U.S. made nearly 200 years ago. They say it promised one of their delegates would sit in the House of Representatives. Back in 2019, the Cherokee Nation nominated Kimberly Teehee to be their first congressional delegate. If seated, she wouldn't be able to vote, but could serve on committees, introduce bills, and offer amendments.
Well, Central State University has a new honors residence hall tonight. The $15 million project broke ground just a little over a year ago. It is 55,000 square feet and has 65 apartment-style units with the latest in technology and also amenities.
This is for our upper class honors students. It means that they can come and live and learn in one of the best state-of-the-art facilities on our campus, the best and the newest building that has all of the amenities, and that's what students want these days.
These students will actually get to feel what it feels like to be in an apartment, get to live on their own, get to be their own person, and to cook for themselves, and they can be away from home but still have that individuality within themselves and establish their own personhood.
Now, this new residence hall is all part of a $65 million expansion project called Project Innovation. 6 more buildings will be constructed over the next 36 months, all to accommodate the university's growing enrollment.
Here's a live look from our Kettering House sky cam. Beautiful sunset taking shape as we look out over downtown. So, Natalie, it feels warm. It does not feel like November, but you can feel that wind picking up a little bit.
Yeah, and that will continue to increase overnight as our next weather maker moves in. We're talking about an even windier one for tomorrow. So,
okay,
brace for it. We have some pretty strong wind gusts because it's actually been pretty quiet really for the past few months as far as weather and the winds go. So this is what we're talking about in our forecast because we have a very active day of weather. Talking about 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts as far as our storm system pushing through. So sustained winds 15 to 25 miles per hour, wind gusts up to about 50 miles per hour possible. Showers do develop after lunchtime tomorrow, and then as we get our main line to push through, can't rule out some damaging wind gusts with our main line of storms. So we'll monitor that for late tomorrow evening because we do have a level 1 threat, marginal risk for severe storms for late into tomorrow evening as that front pushes in. So coming up, I am going to take a look at our 7-day forecast, talk about what happens after this front makes its way in.
Natalie, thanks. One of America's favorite motorsports returning to the Miami Valley. Still ahead, a preview of what to expect at Monster Jam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Fairborn is going full throttle this weekend. Elise Coulter breaks down what will be kicking up the dirt at the Nutter Center.
Well, the world's biggest, best, and most famous monster truck show is coming to the Nutter Center in Fairborn. Get ready, guys, because Monster Jam is back, and it features all your favorites, right? I know my personal favorite is the Gravedigger, but we've got the El Toro Loco, we've got all kinds of really great trucks that are here. And the best part is you can bring the kids, right? You want to make sure you have their ear protection if they are little, but of course the kids always enjoy the show, especially when the two monster trucks will race and things will get really exciting when all that happens. It's always a good time when the Monster Jam comes to town. That's going on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Guys, back to you in the studio.
Well, daylight saving time ends this weekend. We are going to fall back 1 hour, 2 a.m. on Sunday. So this is a great time to maybe change the batteries in your smoke detector, test your carbon monoxide detectors as well. Maybe just do some things around the house that you maybe do once every year or once every other year, something like that. That's a great time to do anything like that and get that extra hour of sleep. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that because we do have overall nice weather in the forecast. 70s expected on Saturday. We'll be looking at showers. It will be windy on Saturday as well. We fall back again this weekend, upper 60s on Sunday. Heading into next week, we stay pretty mild, so normal high temperature drop to 57. You probably noticed that normal high keeps on going down. Right. However, our temperatures, not quite the case, staying very mild. Again, it is late next week. Does look like when we could first feel a little bit more of a November chill. But even after our cold front moves through, I mean, we're talking 60s, so it's going to feel pretty nice.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Natalie, thanks. And thanks for being with us tonight. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media. We are headed over to Fox 45 next. We hope you join us there. Good night.